All right, it's time for our next animated Disney princess review. So I have done Ariel and Cinderella so far, and the next one is Princess Tiana. Y'all voted on my poll for Princess Jasmine and Elsa. Like, we gotta get through the older ones first, or at least the ones I really liked. So we're gonna get into this. If you want to just watch the review, I will leave a timestamp, but I've got something to say first. When this movie initially came out, I'm thinking my senior year of high school, junior year of high school, like in 2009. I think that's when it came out, 2009, 2010. And let me just say, I did not like this movie. An ex-boyfriend of mine, my first ever boyfriend I ever had. Long story short, he wanted me to watch the movie. I watched it. I didn't really like it. And the reason why is always the same reason why this movie probably won't get a 10. It's because she was a frog the whole damn movie. Like, really? And then, okay, she was supposed to have her own little series on Disney Plus. Great. They waited until Black History Month was over and said, you know what? We're not going to do it anymore. Give her a movie, okay? She is the only Disney princess of recent years that has not gotten anything else. Like, Ariel, she has 3 movies. Mulan, she has 2. Belle, like you could, some people may not consider those other movies. She had 3. Princess Jasmine, same thing, 3. Snow White, we don't really care about Snow White. I talk a lot of shit about Snow White, and I don't give a damn. Okay, Sleeping Beauty recently got into her. I would love a sequel for her as well. Like, you could get somebody else to play her. I don't know if her voice actress is still alive. But yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and get into it. I would give this movie an 8 out of 10. Okay, so the movie starts. It starts with little Tiana and little Lottie getting a story read to them. It was the Frog Prince. Lottie is so excited to hear this story, and Tiana is like, ew, I don't care for this. And she says that she would never kiss a frog, but she ends up doing it later on in the movie, okay? Lottie doesn't care. She says she would kiss the frog if it turned out to be a prince. What if the frog didn't, Lottie? What if it didn't? And Lottie, personally, I think she's a little spoiled. And she says, ooh, I want to dress just like that in the book. And I think she does get it. I would like to help her daddy cook. And she's talking about gumbo. Like, I don't think I've ever had gumbo, and I want to. Like, this movie, I love that it's had New Orleans culture, the richness, the food, the scenery, all of it. I loved it. And she wants to make a wish on a star. So she's with her mom and her dad. And Tiana wants to make a wish on the star. And her daddy tells her, you gotta put in the work though. Like, you can't just wish for stuff. Just like with other things, you can't just wish for stuff. You gotta make it happen. You gotta make it work. You gotta make it happen, you know? And she keeps saying, please, 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 to the star. Please, please. And a frog pops up. She's like, I'm not kissing you. Little Tiana runs into the closet. And, you know, we see all the scenery in her room changed. It's not a little girl's room anymore. It's an adult woman's room now. And we see grown Tiana. In her dresser drawer, she has this restaurant fund. She has been staying working. She definitely has her dad's working ways and her mom in a way, because she was working. And Tiana ain't thinking of no man. She thinking about this restaurant, okay? And, you know, she's making these beignets. They look good. Then we see Prince Naveen, I think. Her friends want her to join her. Like, let's have a night out. You're always working. But she wants to save saving for her restaurant. All she do is work. One thing about Tiana, she is determined. She was determined this whole movie. No matter what circumstance it was, she never gave up. She kept going, okay? And Lottie, personally, she's like, ooh, the Prince of Madonia. Like, she just wants a prince. She a little boy crazy. We like her anyway, because she was a good friend to Tiana. Like, you rarely see that in some of these movies. Like, they suck, okay? And they invited Prince Naveen to stay in their house, you know, since he's going to be there for Mardi Gras. And she kept calling her Tia. What was the reason for that? That was the only main part of the movie I confused about. Why are you keep calling her Tia? Her name is Tiana. That bugged me. And the Shadow Man didn't like him. He looked a little shifty, okay? And she's like, okay, I have all this money saved up, and, you know, I'm helping Lottie with this ball thing, and I finally have the money now. So she's finally getting her restaurant, and she is excited, but ain't nothing yet. She's like looking at the building, and she finally has all this money saved up. And she's like, slow your horses. And her mom is like, okay, your dad worked. What about love? Can you get your loving? Can you get your loving? And my first song in the movie comes on, Almost There. I feel like that song is very relatable. We're all almost there to something. Like, there have been a lot of moments in the recent years I've been almost there and didn't quite get there. That's why I could relate so much to Tiana, because she actually got there, you know? And Anika Nani Rose was perfect for this role because she could sing and act. She could act her little butt off. And we don't mess with voodoo, so I'm sorry, but I skipped that part. Okay, so now we at the... If y'all watched my Helper Mistake relationship review, I think it was Dylan and Nikki. I was like, we don't do voodoo. We don't do voodoo. I'm sorry, I don't do voodoo. Okay, so now we at the ball, and all the beignets fell. And instead of Lottie getting mad, she's a really good friend to her. She lended her a dress. And wow, that blue dress was beautiful. I'll try to leave a picture right here. And again, we can all relate to Tiana in some way. We've all been almost there to something. And then a frog pops up. But it's not just any frog. It's Prince Naveen. And Prince Naveen remembers the story. And, you know, Tiana is scared. Like, she didn't want to kiss no frog. She didn't kiss no frogs. And then the kiss turned her into a frog. And they get in Lottie's dress. The frogs are chasing her. The frogs are getting chased. And then meanwhile, fake Naveen gets in trouble. And his servant, it's his servant, gasp, Lawrence. And F voodoo, F voodoo, that was probably the main thing. It went from me not liking her being a frog to the voodoo. I don't like that. He really thinks that she's actually a princess, which is probably why it did not work. That the kiss did not work, and she actually turned into a frog herself. She's a waitress. And we learned that the prince is actually broke. His parents cut him off. And he wants to marry Lottie, Charlotte, to get her riches. That's it. You don't want to marry her because you like her. Just saying. And not him making her do all the work. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to chill here. Like, no, you're going to get up, buddy. You was going to get up. And Louis is... It's like these alligators chasing them as well. And luckily, they don't get eaten. And, you know, Tiana, she's very resourceful and everything. Louis wants to ask Mama Odie to turn him human. Love the gator. And meanwhile, fake Naveen, Lawrence, is proposing to Lottie. Meanwhile, the Shadow Man approaches. And the gator is over here talking about some type of food. Like gumbo, jambalaya. Like, yes. And Tiana's like, I'm not kissing no frog or eating a bug in the same damn day. And, you know, it's Ray. It's Ray. He's like in the corner. And Ray tries to help them, but Naveen and Tiana's tongues get stuck. And then going down to the Bayou song was catchy. I like that song as well. Then we see the Shadow Man again. And Tiana tells the prince that he's just, you're not going to just sit there. He was like, yeah, could you like just give me this, and that. And I'll just, you know, I'll just get back to you soon. No, sir. No, sir. You are going to get up. You're going to get up and you're going to help. Like, you're going to help, okay? And Naveen realizes he doesn't know how to do anything since everything was done for them. And they are both dancing in the water. And I personally think they were falling in love. But Tiana didn't want to fall in love with him because he was going to marry her best friend, you know. And they were about to kiss. But she was like, wait a minute. No, we're not doing this. And then I think Naveen doesn't want Charlotte now. He wants Tiana. And then the Shadow Man grabs Naveen. But it's not the Shadow Man, it's Mama Odie. So she gave me very much Yzma vibes. If you know Empress New Groove, probably will do a review of that movie because I could talk so much crap about Cusco. It's not even funny. Tiana's like, these people keep getting distracted. I loved Mama Odie's song. And he tells the little Ray that he's in love with Tiana. And he does this cute little setup. And she was like, this is so cute. Nobody has ever done this for me. And she keeps talking about her restaurant. Like, I get it, Tiana, homegirl. You want your restaurant. But you're kind of ruining the moment with talking about this freaking restaurant. He was about to propose to you. Love gets it every time. Like, yes, you can have your dreams and your goals and whatever. But what about love? What about it? Then it's time for Naveen and Lottie's wedding. Lottie's dress looks like the one from the book, okay? And then she's crushed. Then, like, meanwhile, while that is happening, I guess Tiana got tired of Ray mentioning Evangeline. She's like, Evangeline is nothing but a star. She's a star, okay? And he gets a little sad. And he really believes the star is talking to him. But whatever. whatever makes you happy, you know? Then the wedding is happening and Ray can't hear him. Gets him out of the box. Lottie just don't know, okay? Lawrence is doing it for payback. He was like, why are you doing it? And then he gets the shadows out there. Lewis is roaring. The shadow man squishes Ray, which consequently causes a slow death for him. And Tiana is running, and then the shadow man gives her a vision of what her life could be if she gives him his little talisman or whatever that thing is. And it's like she's in her restaurant and she thought that she saw Naveen. It wasn't Naveen. And the shadow man is talking to her like, you can have all of this. And I'm like, Tiana, don't fall for his tricks. Don't fall for it. And, you know, she didn't. She's a strong-minded young lady. And, you know, her dad, the naysayers and everything. Her daddy's their Achilles heel. I really thought she was going to be like, you know what? You can have it. No, she didn't. She was like, you know what, Shadow Man? He kept calling her slimy. She's like, I'm not slimy. This is mucus. And then she took it and she broke the little talisman thingy, whatever. And then, you know, all the little voodoo people, whatever, come at him. See, this is what you get for doing voodoo. It's always going to come bite you in the You're not supposed to be playing with that. Okay. And then Lottie finds the fake Lawrence, and he gets arrested. He thought he was really, and then you scared her. She was like, ooh, child. Who the heck are you? You know? And he, you know, the Lottie was like, yes, I finally get my prince and I want to marry him. But he's like, no, I want you to give Tiana her restaurant. I don't want to marry you. And, you know, Lottie, she's a good friend. And she realizes, you're like, you know what? I'll kiss you. You're crying. And then as they were about to, the clock went off and they had to stay frogs. Okay. So then so after this, Ray dies. It was sad, but he was happy to see Naveen and Tiana get together. And then they have a little funeral for him. Not legit. I was crying. But then they look up at the stars. And Ray, I guess, is staying up there. I guess he wished to be a star so he could be with his Evangeline. And he's up there with her. Then Naveen and Tiana have a wedding as frogs. She has a little veil, everything. You know, the prince is there. And then the magic happens. Once Bamba Odie said, I do, or they said, I do, they kissed. Tiana is now a princess because she married a prince. So then that meant that they got to become human again. And then when they came back, I was like, the dress right here. Like, y'all see it? That's the dress that she was wearing. That's the dress. I thought it was so freaking cute. And then, you know, the spell's now broken because Tiana's a princess now. Then they had another wedding for their family and their friends. She finally gets her restaurant. You know, Naveen is helping her. And we see Lottie dancing with her little brother. And the movie ends with Tiana and Naveen dancing on top of the restaurant. I would love for a sequel to happen for this movie or something. I don't know how they would make it go. After y'all splash the Tiana series, y'all got to do something because that is dirty. Like, she was the first Black Disney princess, and there's not a lot of princesses in the people of color, like, category. Besides from her, there's Asha, and her story is not as interesting. It's not. I'm just saying. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Do you like Tiana or not? Do you like this movie? Have you ever seen this movie? And if you have not, would you watch it or you just don't want to? But I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.